If this is the year for you to up your game when it comes to LinkedIn connections, well, I'm going to unpack specifically a way and tool that you can leverage. And I've talked about this tool before to help automate and scale your LinkedIn connections. It's called Waalaxy. In this video, I'm going to break down specifically a way that you can message the contacts that you've already had connected with through Waalaxy. So if you're watching this video and you've never used Waalaxy, my recommendation is, and I'm going to include it in the description below, check out the first video that will walk you through how to set up Waalaxy, the benefits, the features, because this video is for advanced users. And so if you're using Waalaxy already, this is going to help scale your connections on LinkedIn. My current LinkedIn connections right now, I'm approaching like 11,000. And the big benefit to get to that number is really using a scaling tool, which again, Waalaxy is the one that I've been using for probably the last 18 months. And I've had super successful campaigns being set up in Waalaxy. And I wanted to walk you through specifically one that's been the most successful when it comes to messaging. And specifically, again, if you're using Waalaxy, you're probably using it in a variety of different ways. Typically, how we use it is we have Apollo, that's our database of prospects, and it's a prospecting tool. You don't have to use it. You can upload any list that you have essentially here at the agency. And we also train clients in how to use Apollo as well. But what we do with Apollo is it's our list generator, meaning like it's our prospecting tool. So we get our company list. From there, we get our people list. So ultimately what we do with Waalaxy is once we get our people list developed inside of Apollo, we download that, then we upload it to Waalaxy. And again, if you're an advanced user in Waalaxy, you already know that. What I want to be able to showcase here is a major tip in how you can not only scale your connections, but really how you can specifically scale your LinkedIn messages, right? This is again for the advanced users. So you've already have connections through LinkedIn and then also through Waalaxy. So as long as you're using Waalaxy to populate those connections through LinkedIn, you can send a direct message, a bulk direct message to multiple people all at once. And I've been using it and it's been great. So I want to walk you through exactly how it works when you're sending, again, a connection that you've already had through Waalaxy, because the system knows, hey, you're connected with this person. Now I'm going to send out a bulk message. So really it works based on how you're uploading your people list. And I'm going to walk you through specifically how you can start a campaign. So obviously if you're a user in Waalaxy, you know, there's like one invitation plus 2 messages. And then the third option here is messaging specifically your network on LinkedIn. This is one of the powerful things that you can do with Waalaxy. So if I just click that, messaging my network, and I'm just going to set up a quick test here just to showcase how it essentially works. And then once the test goes, I'm going to generate the list that's already, again, in Waalaxy. So I'm going to go back to one of my past campaigns. And I'm just scrolling through here to find a big list of, okay, here we go. So let's amp it up. 2023, there's 130 people. So again, the way it was set up, I reached out to these 130 people to develop a first connection, right? So let me click on that. It's going to populate. So of those 130 people, I connected with 36. Great. That's wonderful. So let me click on that. So now what's going to happen is I'm setting up my message, my direct message that's going to go through LinkedIn, right? This is a connection. So we're integrating Waalaxy with LinkedIn. And I want to send a message because, hey, we've got, let me see what's going to come up here. Let's see. I want to do, it doesn't really matter, the message, but the context of this is, let's say, for example, you're trying to increase your, let's say you have a LinkedIn group. We have a LinkedIn group. We use it all the time. Let's say you're trying to be helpful through this direct message to say, hey, we have a LinkedIn message that's LinkedIn industry group that's relevant, right, to your industry. I thought it would be a helpful resource. Feel free to subscribe here. The key with direct messages is, depending on your sales process, right? You want to warm up that lead. You want to educate them about your solution. It's not about the first message that you get. And I get these all the time. You probably do too. It's like, hey, it's great connecting with you. Notice you have this challenge, this problem. Let's set up a call, right? I never do that. That's a low success tactic. What I do is I'm trying to educate, again, clients and how they can use it. I'm trying to educate my prospects and how, again, our agency solves problems. So the best way to do that is to share content that's helpful for them so they can go down that rabbit hole, right, to learn about your solution. So whether it's an agency, whether it's a solution that you have, whether it's a product, it doesn't matter. You have to educate them. So this is one of the key ways that I'm using Waalaxy. Again, we want to connect with them first, get that connection built, develop that relationship, right? Develop that rapport, be that trusted advisor. That doesn't happen overnight. So what you need to do is be able to create that content, and whether it's a LinkedIn group, whether it's a newsletter, whether it's a white paper, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a YouTube channel that you've got tons of great videos on there. Regardless, just make sure you're being helpful to them. But this messaging, again, I'm going to send out that same message to 36 people. And the great thing about Waalaxy is I've got a ton of different templates in here. Depending on what I'm trying to do, you can obviously change what that message is. So, like, hey, this is our LinkedIn group message. This is my YouTube channel. This is, Twitter as a resource. This is our webinar. This is our white paper, right? So you can definitely change that message. And then you come over here. If I scroll down a little bit here, let me make my screen a little bigger so I can actually see this. And this is a test anyway, so I'm not going to send this out, obviously. But let's just say I hit confirm. What happens is that message goes out to those 36 people, right? And that's the key with this. Ultimately, what you want to be able to do is scale those connections, but then scale your messaging with those connections already. So those 36 people that I put in the campaign, they're going to get that same message. So it saves me time. I'm much more efficient. So what happens is with Waalaxy, you can go back and look at a report to see, obviously, if those were delivered. What I typically do is just go back to LinkedIn, look at my direct message with all the connections that I have just to make sure those went out. And right, it's so much better than essentially trying to do like 36 individual messages, right? That's time consuming, right? You want to be able to use a tool like Waalaxy. And I'm going to include the Waalaxy link in the description below so you can check it out. Obviously, if you've used Waalaxy, you have it, but this is definitely an upgraded way to develop those relationships a little bit more with those connections that you have. So hopefully this video is helpful as you grow, obviously, your LinkedIn connections and developing your thought leadership, or right, your trusted advisor in your industry. This is definitely a great way to do it. If this video has been helpful to you, if it's been valuable, feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Look forward to bringing you more videos about Waalaxy and how you can scale your LinkedIn connections for this year. Bye for now.